after a game with your players? Half a dozen of you will be going. Your thoughts on just that?
Well, for me, it's a representation of the organization. I mean, I'm lucky to have the staff. I mean, I wouldn't be there if it wasn't the staff. I got an incredible staff. Obviously, Patrick and Jim and stuff. So I'm representing that group. I mean, for the players, obviously, they deserve it. I mean, all guys have just played, great for us. So it's going to be a fun weekend. I hope those guys enjoy that.
5-on-5, your play has been so strong. The power play was really good the first month and a half of the season. You were 4th overall. What confounds you about it right now with the talent that you have out there and maybe not being where it is?
Yeah, I think we just got a mental block of the attack style. We think plays instead of attacking. That's the one thing. There's a mental block that we got to. It's just not one guy. It's just when we beat pressure, we want to attack. The best power play is attack. I thought we attacked better the first 6 weeks, but it's a work in progress. We're going to keep on it, working on it, getting on the same page. But I think guys are getting. I just don't want the guys to get frustrated because when power plays don't work, sometimes it affects your 5-on-5 plays. Thank God it hasn't affected our 5-on-5.
Does attack mean that you're more reactive and you're quicker to go to the net and let shots go as opposed to set up that perfect play because you've got guys who can convert the perfect play?
Well, for me, if you beat, a lot of teams do the 3-point pressure. If you beat that pressure and the puck gets to the other side, to me, it's attack. You have to outnumber. And it doesn't always have to be a tic-tac-toe goal. Like the best goals it's a shot on net, rebound in the net because that's when the PKs are most vulnerable, right? And we always talk to our PK guys. If we overplay a power play and it gets the other side and the team attacks and they score, we're mad at the PK guys. So I think we have to have that same approach, right? But like I said, it's 5 guys have to go out there with that same kind of mentality.
Rick, when you guys come to the team, they usually know their place, even if they're a veteran. Teddy Bluger, whether it's what he learned from Sid in Pittsburgh or what he experienced in Vegas watching a team build a playoff pedigree, has been a culture carrier here. He's already been a guy who's come in and been more than just a player. How impressed are you with what he's brought to the club?
Well, I mean, just those two systems, Pittsburgh and Vegas, similar, winning pedigree, and he's been in both environments. And Teddy's, I call him a system guy. If we're struggling with something, if I show video that day, if we practice it or we play the next day, he's in the spots that we want him to be. I call that a system guy, and it's contagious. Then all of a sudden Tocchet does it, and then Garland does it, and then it goes down the pipe, right? So that's what he's brought to our team is that he does the things with the spots that we want him to be in.
Was that goal in Columbus? Could you have drawn up any better from a forechecking and finishing perspective? Dakota Hart on the end boards, gets it to Blugs, spin, Connor in the slot, bing, it's in.
Well, if you look at their last 6 weeks or 7 weeks, they're connected. That's a connected goal. That's why we always talk about that first forechecker is important to do his job. Not to I'm going to try to go. No, I'm not going to go to this guy. I'll go to this guy. Like Dakota goes to this guy. Teddy knows that, so the puck ends up here, and then we know Garz is going to be he's going to be in the slot where we want him to be. So there's times to be creative and ad lib, but there's times you got to be a system guy, and that line plays the system.
One last thing on that front, it's above your pay grade, but a guy like Bluger has established himself, a guy that you could probably value down the road. He is a UFA. How interested would you be in seeing him come back next year and be that kind of guy?
And we got a few guys like that that are playing really well, and whether it's last year or short-term deals. So, that is not my pay grade. That's but the one thing I love about Patrick, obviously he asked my opinion, but at the end of the day, that's where he comes into play.
Looking at this team moving forward, Adam Foote was talking about this with Kate on the road. He said the one thing he likes about this team, it's starting to believe. That's what he said. Are you seeing an increased level in confidence with this group, perhaps from the start of the year to where it is now?
Yeah, I think every day we come in here, you get some confidence. But I'm in the stage now, can this be a special team? I've heard that word, special. To be a special team, you got to do special things. And that means, your discipline and your I know staples, all that. We have to do those things consistently to be special. You you know, you come to the rink and you don't feel like practicing, but special teams do. You have to do extraordinary things to be a special team. So we're trying to strive for that. So there's still, what, 30, a lot of games left.
You talked about this team and its ability, its resiliency, which a lot of it is attributed to resetting and refocusing. I mean, how important is that moving forward as the pressure builds both on and off the ice?
Well, the one thing I like, and I think, yeah, there's going to be more pressure. I mean, if guys don't think like it's going to get ramped up even harder, there's going to be some spots in games where the pressure is going to hit, and we got to be able to deal with that. But even after games, even on this road trip, you know, guys were happy, but I didn't see guys, you know, we weren't pounding their chests. Guys were, oh, great win. Hey, but we got to do this tomorrow. Like it's that mantra right now, and honestly, it's not like I'm pounded down their throat. I mean, they've taken that, and they've like, hey, like a very even-keeled team.
Well, Quinn was just talking about it in the dressing room. He said, we won 5. We could have won 7, right? It just shows you where the mentality is now with these guys. It's like, okay, we did this, but we can still even be better.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why coming up these next 5 games, like before we have a 10-day break, this focus level for 5 games to me is a very key part of our fabric. Like, I'm really interested to see how, you know, and I'm very confident that they will be at the focus level of this team in our building for 5 games where, you know, we get to rest a little bit here before the next game tomorrow night, but this 5 games for me is going to be a big part of our, you know, moving forward, I think.
Do you know Bones very well? Bones?
Rick, yes.
The job he's done in
Yes.
Winnipeg? What do you make of it?
I
He's gone through so many personal things with Judy, but
I just marvel at Bones. He's coached more games than, you know, than anybody. I'm really close with Bones. I think he's a terrific coach, guy. He's a player's coach, but he's also a taskmaster. Like and that's why I love the fact that he goes to Winnipeg and, you know, he preached play without the puck, and obviously he's doing a hell of a job. I mean, they're playing as good as anybody. So, yeah, I think he's done an unreal job, Bonesy.
What's one thing that you guys have done so well bouncing back and not having? I think you guys only have a couple 2-game losing streaks this year, and that's not much of a streak. How do you guys keep bouncing back and not letting those kind of snowball on you guys?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Like, I know it's a cliche, but we earn every day. Like, even when it's a bad game or we don't feel we played well, for some reason, and I give the players credit the next day, or our practice is really good, or we have a video session, guys are watching. You know, it's not like, you know, it's just a different feeling if things don't go well. Just like if we're winning, you know, we're not a cocky team. So we're just trying to find that sweet spot. And I want them to enjoy it. But also, you also got to know when you don't play well, you got to let it go, but you got to learn from why you didn't play well. And I think that's what they're finding, you know, that sweet spot, when to be hard on themselves and when not to be. And I think that's a key.
Petey was just asked about it, and going on he went on a championship run in the SHL, and he got that opportunity. He said something that he took away from that team was everybody knew their role. I'm curious, as a coach at this point in the season, do you feel you're at that point where players are comfortable with the roles that they're in, even though they kind of move around throughout the lineup, but just feeling comfortable with the role that you're asking from them?
Well, I just think on this road trip, this short sample size, somebody did something to help us win. Whether it's Hoglander got 2 goals one game, you know, whether it's, you know, Amon on a penalty kill, you know, obviously Petey, the Millsy line, and Vess obviously were terrific. You know, whether it's Casey Smith, you know, didn't skate for 2 days, goes in there and plays the way he did in Columbus after not playing for 3 or 4. Like, these are, you're getting, like, this, you know, I'm a puzzle guy. You know, every piece of the puzzle has done something. Myers, you know, playing solid. I mean, I could just go down the list. You know, everybody's done something. You know, nobody wants to be a passenger. And sometimes some guy might have to play 11, 12 minutes, and he accepts it. Some guys are going to play more or less because of whatever happens in that game. That, to me, is a real team.
I know you've only been in Vancouver for a last little bit after the road trip. How many fans have yelled about the lotto line to you since you got back?
I haven't heard it yet,
Yeah.
but I'm sure, you know, it's more about, hey, you know, keep winning, but I haven't heard the lotto line yet. Yeah.
What do you make of your first winter here? You a snow guy?
Yeah, I'm used to it, you know, being from Toronto, stuff like that, yeah. I think the weather is actually not that bad. It doesn't snow that much here. Jeez.
the rain.
Jeez.
It's the rain.
Yeah, that's it.
On the note of Toronto, what excites you most about the opportunity to go home for the weekend and enjoy it?
Well, for me, family, get to see my brothers and stuff. Obviously, Toronto's a hockey hotbed, and it's a good chance. And honestly, for me, is just sit back and watch the skill, and being proud to have, was it 4 or 5? We have 4 guys, right? 5 guys. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we got 5 guys in this thing. I mean, that's pretty special to have the Vancouver crest represented by 5 guys in a hockey mecca. So it's a credit to those guys and the organization.
I know that it's like a draft setup. Is there any way you could rig this and get all your?
Yeah, right. Was it a ball thing? How's it work? I don't know.
We don't.
I don't think it's one
Nobody knows. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Structure might be an issue then.
Yeah.
There's
Just well, if I got,
guts of the, there's no guts of the ice in the All-Star game, so.
but if the coaches have to pick, I'll pick it. That's a no-brainer for me.
All good?